But no, I'm going to share an experience with you guys right now because I feel like I can. And currently I feel like it's just chatting. So let's have a little chat. When I was how old was I? Like 10? 10, 11, 12. I don't remember because I don't want to remember. We went to the beach with my family. And I was little, as you know. And I was very excited to go into the water. And I was 10, 11, 12, and so I didn't know, and so I went into the water, and before I knew it, the waves took me away. Goodbye. Little old me, not knowing how to swim. There I am, middle of, just there, like just in the middle, not knowing where I am, and looking around, and it's literally just water. So I'm like, I'm out. I've gone. I'm out there. I don't even want to remember. It makes me emotional. And so I remember, from what I remember, I don't know how real our memories are, like how, you know, because obviously they can remember things wrong. Hard to talk about it, sorry. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna die here. I was. And so I was shouting for help. From what I remember, I'm guessing my shouting must have created bubbles or something, because someone, or wherever he is in the world, I hope he's living an amazing life and everything goes like his way, and like he just a life of positivity and happiness. I felt hands literally lift me up from the water, and then I don't really remember the rest. It's kind of faded. Sorry guys, I can't see comments right now because I'm not looking down, because I'm like trying to look up not to be upset. Anyway, so I remember like being put onto the sand on the beach, and so from my family's point of view, they said that they were shouting my name. They couldn't find me. They were shouting my name. Like, where is she? Where is she? And then they saw like a big crowd on the sand. And then like they saw, and in the middle of that crowd was me, lying down, basically just out, unconscious, gone. So they called the ambulance, and then I went to the hospital. I was there for a few days. I had oxygen masks. I was being sick, and after that I had like a fear of the water. And it was my dad who sadly passed away in 2018 due to cancer. As you guys know, if you have been following me, I have talked about that. Very sad time in my life. But it was my dad who walked with me by the beach every day to make sure that I don't have a fear of the water in future. So it's thanks to him that I'm able to like go next to the water and not be scared. I can't swim, and I like don't really like it, but now I don't have a fear of it. So he kind of helped me and like walked with me and like just made sure I was okay. The rest of my family were also very supportive, but my dad, who literally got me out of the hospital bed and was like, let's just walk by and just make sure you're feeling okay. And after that experience, I actually had nightmares a lot about water, and it was my dad again who every time I woke up, I would go to him and I'd be like, Dad, I had a nightmare again, I can't sleep. And we would literally just talk through my nightmare, and by talking through it over time, I stopped having nightmares. And I was like, Dad, it worked like magic, thank you so much. And so my dad was like, honestly, he was like my closest friend, and I could talk to him about everything. I just love him so much. And I just wanted to share that with you guys, because we're talking about dreams and nightmares. And I used to have a lot of nightmares, and I don't anymore. I used to have a lot of nightmares of drowning, and I don't anymore. And that's thanks to him. Okay, I'm gonna read the comments now. Okay. Yeah. Dreams can cause false memories. I had a moment of deja vu dream once when I was a kid. This is the theory that your brain fills up gaps in memories with new information, and that's honestly most likely what happens. Yeah. I don't want to scare you, but I actually see shadow people when waking up during the night. It's like real people. Yeah, no, do you know what? That's not scary. Like, it depends how you want to view it. Like, if you see it as like, oh my god, the shadow people, I'm scared, and you're gonna be scared. If you see it as like, I don't know, do you have a relative that, you know, passed away, and they maybe just came and like wanted to say hi? Like, don't be scared of them, welcome them, is what I would say. Like, rather than living in fear if you see a shadow. I'm not saying, like, obviously if it's like a stranger in your house, get out. But like, if it's literally a shadow and you know it's a dream and like you can tell, welcome them. Like, literally just smile and then just see what happens. They will most likely just walk away, or I don't know. Like, I feel like think of it as like a relative has come to say hello. That's what I think. It's like welcome the shadow is the way I see it. And I don't think it's scary. Ghosts as well, I don't think it's scary. I think they're just like, if it exists, if you see a ghost and you believe that, see it in a positive light. It's someone who passed away and they're just saying hi. I don't know. Like, you know, they're just lonely. Yeah. It's such a horrible, wholesome story. I'm so sorry. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad I could share that with you guys. Thank you. Oh yeah, it's a very weird experience, definitely, but just, yeah, try not to be scared of it. So yeah guys, I want to share that with you guys, but yeah, I lost my dad in 2018. It still feels very recent, doesn't feel like 2018. We're now in 2021. Every year I'm like, what the heck, Dad? I have a picture of my dad on my mirror and I say goodnight to him every night. It's like, good night, Dad, come on in. And he honestly, like, just because he's gone, doesn't mean he's gone. I think people live on through your memory of them and how you talk about them to other people. So when you talk about them, they're living on. That's the way I see it. So right now I'm talking about my dad to you guys and he's living on. Do you know what I mean? Now you know that my dad was like caring, supportive. I'm so lucky to have had such a loving dad, honestly, that I could just talk to anything about. And yeah, when he got cancer, it was the absolute worst. Absolute worst. I wouldn't wish it upon my worst enemy. I would go to the hospital almost every day to see him. And he would just, you know, get worse and worse and worse in front of my eyes. And then to be told, when you're told by the doctors that your parent has 2 weeks to live, when you're told those words, I think that's the worst thing I've heard in my life. Being told that is actually, yeah, that's the worst thing I've been told in my life. Someone says to me, what's the worst thing you've heard? That my dad has 2 weeks to live. And then, yeah, we just wanted to make sure that those 2 weeks were, yeah, and then he passed away exactly 2 weeks later. I lost my stepdad and he was very close to me. It's like losing a BFF. I completely understand, Octavius. I'm sorry for your loss. I like your way of thinking. People always live on in our hearts, absolutely. And do you know what is interesting? It's the experiences that I've been through that have got me to this point of thinking. Because if I didn't think like this, I would very easily right now allow myself to get into depression. I would cry every day that I lost my dad. Don't get me wrong, I still cry, I still get very upset. But when I think about him, I try to think about how grateful and lucky I am to have had a dad that I love so much and that I miss so much and that I care about so much. How lucky am I to have experienced that? So I when I think about him, I'm more grateful than sad. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's about flipping that and just being like, we had such a good time together and he brought so much into my world, that he brought so much to me. My way of thinking and everything was like his way of thinking as well, you know, like, so it's about getting those really bad experiences and trying your best to milk it and get some sort of positivity from it. So like, my dad, before he passed away, said to me that no matter what happens in life after I'm gone, and I'm like, no, Dad, don't talk like that. He's like, let's be realistic here. He was very realistic. I love that about him. I'm also a very realistic person. After I'm gone, you will not lose your enthusiasm and joy towards life. Okay? I'm like, okay, I won't. and so I always try to be this enthusiastic, joyful person. But so basically the idea is that if I'm upset over it, I cry and cry, but then I'm like, all right, let's get back to it. Life, enthusiasm, joy, let's get back to it. So it's like, I can be sad for as long as I want, but then I need to pick myself up, because my dad wouldn't have wanted to see me like that. And I don't want to see myself like that. That's why I try to be this like enthusiastic and joyful person. And it's not fake, it's genuine. Because of the conversation he had with me, I'm like, you know what? I can be really, really sad, but I need to pick myself up from there, because he wouldn't have wanted to see me like that. And that actually motivates me to just be in good spirit. I feel your music regarding your dad. I'm mourning my father today even though he is alive. He has a very limited time left. He could live for 2 more years, but he could also die tomorrow. Pixel, I'm so sorry to hear that. Just make sure to spend as much time with him as you need to, and talk to him about everything you want to talk to him about. He would never want me to be sad, and I know your dad wouldn't either. They'd want us to remember the good stuff. Absolutely. They don't want us to remember them in their final moments. When I think about my dad, I shift my thoughts straight away. I don't think about him in his deathbed. I don't think about... So guys, I actually saw my dad after he passed away. Like, you know, I woke up in the middle of the night and went to his bedside and he wasn't breathing. So I saw that. So when I think about him now, I don't think about that. I think about when he was super energetic. We played football together and I gave him a big hug, and he would like take me to a cafe if I'm not feeling great, and like we would just have a hot chocolate together and just talk about my day, because like he would genuinely care about like how I am, how I'm feeling, what's going on in my life, how university's going, all the good stuff. So that's my dad. That's what I think about when I think about him. Thank you. He would get annoyed at you for being sad. No, Octavius, it's okay to be sad. It's very okay to be sad. But then pick yourself up. Do it for you and do it for the person who passed away, because they wouldn't have wanted to see you like that. I try to think of it in that way sometimes and it makes me laugh. If it works for you, that's great. Where'd the hat go? Oh yeah, the hat and the ears have gone because we got into a bit of a serious conversation with chat. You guys, thank you so much for being here with me right now. I'm glad you still allow yourself to be sad though. So important. Of course, you always need to pick yourself up eventually, but suppressing... I couldn't agree more, guys. If you need to be sad, if you need to cry, do it. Whatever emotion you're feeling, live it. Live it. I had times where I was at work and literally a thought would cross my mind about my dad, tears. Instant. I'd go to my manager. By the way, I love where I work. My manager is very understanding. He knows what happened in the past. I go to him and I'm like, I'm just thinking about my dad right now. Can I quickly just go for a break just in the other room? Big yes. I go to the other room, think about my dad, you know, tissues, whatever, just let myself live the emotions, because I lost my dad. Like, remember, like, it's a big thing in your life. Don't try to suppress your emotions. Exactly. I lost my dad. I'm gonna feel all the feels. I love you. I'm grateful for you. Let's go back to it. And I'll go back to work. So it's like, just, if it comes, let it come. If the emotion comes, let it come. Whatever the emotion is. As long as like you're not harming yourself and you're not harming other people, let that emotion come. It's kind of getting to me, but it's a good thing. Exactly. Yeah. Guys, we're almost done with the logo. Guys, we're almost done with the logo.